Welcome, welcome everyone to another adventure into reality. Anything at all that you wanted to talk about. The upcoming energies, the incoming energies, the energies that are inside of you, the great grand mixture of pollution that we're all having to live with, etc. Just a little side note. Andrew's a little angry today, and not angry at any person, anything, any place. Just a frustration energy that has a bit of a grrr behind it. So if I am a little terse, maybe I'm already getting myself already ready to roast. For those of you who are new and don't know what a roasting is, it would not be a good day to put up your hand. But if you are a regular person that has heard me roast on a regular basis and want to be told what you need to hear and not what you want to hear, this would be a good opportunity for you to raise your hand and have a conversation with me and get at some of the more intricate parts of what one might be avoiding today. If you are on looking for a roast, you can just talk to me too. You know, that doesn't have to be all about what's my fucking purpose and where did I come from. You know, you could just talk. People talk to me all the time. All right, Robert, let's let you do your mystical, magical, wonderful spin of the universal wheel of collars and see who's first.
Okay, Christine Edmond.
Christine, are you there?
I'm here.
Hi, where are you calling from today?
Ottawa, Canada.
Ottawa, Canada. Welcome to the show. What do you want to talk about today?
Well, thanks for sharing that you're in a good mood. I'm up for a good roast. I've been following you. I saw you on Laura Eisenhower a few months ago. Mm-hmm. So I've been following you since then. It's my first time participating, so I'm really surprised I got chose first. So,
well, the universe selected you.
Yeah.
So you've heard me roast before. What level of fire do you want to start with?
Whatever you think I can handle.
Are you familiar with cooking at all?
Yes.
So we're gonna be like a roast. We're going to sear the outside so that we get to store all the juicy energies before we put you into the oven.
Awesome.
So we're going to sear you first. So tell me a little bit about yourself. What's going on with you right now?
I'm doing really well. I started kind of like a healing business in January, like for Reiki and readings. Mm-hmm. It's going like pretty well. I'm drawn more to the tarot readings right now. I know that there's definitely like more to come, like in the new year. Mm-hmm. I don't really know what the next step will be. I feel like, obviously the collective, what's going on right now is pretty like huge. And I see it's even like when I read people, it's kind of hard what I share with them because I'm like, I don't know what I kind of censor myself sometimes because I'm not sure like what level they're at and what I can share and what I can't share. So it's just interesting. So if you see anything like that coming up for me.
Mm-hmm. What kind of job did you do before this?
I still have my full-time job, so I do work for the federal government.
Okay. What do you do?
I work in procurement.
So contracts, etc.
Yes.
Okay. How long have you been doing that for?
That's a new role only for a year, but I've had mainstream jobs my whole life. Like I've worked in accounting, I've tried real estate. I'm just looking for something more. Like I know there's something bigger and better out there. I just don't know what it is yet. I'm kind of like more trusting in divine timing and trust and surrendering and all that kind of good stuff. But
so when we put the meat to the pan here and we hear the first searing is you need to stop looking for the bigger plan.
Okay.
And realize the bigger plan's already inside you. And lateral exposure or horizontal experimenting is far more important than vertical, right, for you. You don't need to continue to expand to go like you before. You need to enjoy the scenic route of what you've been doing. So you're saying you're doing good with your reading side and all that. Like, how many sessions in a month are you doing?
Well, it's not really consistent. I mean, probably like 4 or 5 in a month.
And how do you get those 4 or 5 a month?
Well, I'm working, I work at someone's retreat, and like she advertises for me and she'll book me. So I'll have like 4 or 5 sessions. I'll do that like once a month. And then other than that, it's just, Facebook, YouTube, and then I get some followers. And if they reach out for a reading, then I do it via Zoom.
Okay. So you get either your bulk through a retreat or whatever comes through the internet that gets your way.
Mm-hmm.
Have you explored into Facebook advertising yet?
Yeah, so I do like Facebook Live events like once or twice a month. So I'll put up an ad. I'll spend like $5 or $10, and then I'll just pick up an hour, and I'll just do like readings, like 5 minutes each. And usually every time I do one of those events, I'll get 1 or 2 clients out of it.
Okay. Well, we've steered you enough right now. We're going to put you in the oven and turn up the heat a little bit.
Okay.
Are you in a relationship now? No. Why not?
That's the question. I'm working on myself.
No, you're not. No, you're not. You're doing 2 things at once. So let's get to the truth. Why is there no relationship?
Well, I was kind of focused on one person for a long time, and it's not really working. So I'm trying to let go of that. And
so you were obsessed about somebody else.
You could say that.
Okay. How obsessed?
Pretty obsessed. I mean,
like teenager and Justin Bieber?
No.
Okay. What level of obsessed?
Like a 7 or an 8.
Okay. What did you obsess about this person?
Oh, I just felt like they were the one, and why can't we be together, and caught up in the twin flame business. But I mean, the twin flame thing was told to me. I didn't look for that myself, but I really resonate with that kind of stuff, and I bring it to my readings for other people, but definitely
you need to take that out of your regular conversations, because you are one of those suckers for twin flame lightworker word salads.
Okay.
Long-term sucker. Because you believe there's one for you. There's not one for you. There's thousands for you. Okay? It's idiotic to believe there's only one and only one for me. And this is a soul sickness that has been going on in you for a long time. And it's time you got out of this soul sickness and played the field. As you have a problem playing with the field, don't you?
I don't want to, but perhaps based on results, yes.
Let's answer the question. Do you have a problem playing the field?
Yes.
Why?
I guess I'm just more insecure with my appearance and being seen and confidence and things like that. And also just no one interests me. It's either they're interested in me and I'm not in them, or it's the other way around. It's never.
You're Fox News propaganda. Come on. Let's get past Fox News propaganda, Maria Bartiromo here. Come on. Come on. Let's get to the truth.
Well,
You're still hurt.
Sure.
That one isn't there, and where the fuck is my prince in his shining armor?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He even said there's a little emotional tear behind that, isn't there? Okay? Yeah. So what are you going to do to get that old prince in the armor out?
I don't know. Put myself out there more, but I don't know.
Fire Disney.
Okay.
Okay. Okay? That's why you have to play the field. And you're not going to become a player. That's not in your nature. Playing the field means, hey, I'm going to look and see what the universe offers me, and I'm going to use my discernment to say yes or no. Just don't make it 95 no's in a row.
Yeah.
Okay? Your biggest healing journey ahead of you is getting out of the chastity situation you put yourself in when your knight in shining, obsessive knight in shining armor didn't take on to you, and it didn't work out. Everything about your life is going to open up. Sessions, your psychic abilities. It's not even about the intimacy in the early part. It's just literally taking off the restraints that there's only one for me. And I'm not telling you to go out and have sex with dozens of people. I'm saying look at the field, play the game. You can go to second base, and there's nothing wrong. You can even go to third base. Okay? You don't have to get any deeper than that. And you can use your discernment. Mr. Right Now. Okay. Is that person a signature frequency match for Mr. Right Now? Do they fulfill something in with me? Do they have other qualities about them that can help me learn and grow about myself? Or do I have qualities that we both have qualities that we can both help with each other?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So now I want to ask the hardest question. How many other men have you obsessed about?
I don't think any.
How old are you?
31.
Okay. What was your first boyfriend like?
I've never been in a real relationship.
So at 31, this one relationship was your only relationship?
Pretty much.
Okay. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with you? Come on. You asked for the roast. What's wrong?
I don't know.
You don't believe in yourself. But you believe in yourself enough to do sessions. You believe in yourself enough to get a government job. You believe in enough of yourself to be a healer. But when it comes to the relationships, goddamn, that fucking prince is the only one for you.
Yeah.
Okay? And that prince will accept you with all of the flaws that you think you have.
Yeah.
What flaws do you have?
What flaws do I have?
Mm-hmm. I'm sure you beat yourself up with them all the time.
I mean, it's more just would be like the physical appearance.
Mm-hmm. As I said, you beat yourself up with it all the time.
Yeah.
Okay. What are those flaws? Be truthful with yourself.
I mean, I'm pretty confident in every other aspect. I don't really have...
Except for your physical appearance.
Pretty much, that's a big one.
So you're the frog waiting for the prince to kiss you to turn you into the perfect princess?
Yeah.
But that isn't true. You're already a beautiful soul.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? You are worthy of being in your body in the way and continuous situation that you're in. So who taught you that your body was ugly?
Oh, my mom.
Okay. Who else?
I mean, I can see like society and all that kind of stuff, but
the biggest teacher was yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because you say these things to yourself all the time over the last many years. That's why you've only been in one relationship. And as soon as that pheromone of a potential one came and touched your energy center, oh my God, it's my twin flame, and obsession took over the right mind. That's your biological clock saying, bitch, mate.
Yeah.
Bitch, get out and use those sexual organs. Bitch, do something. Otherwise, why were you born a woman?
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
Why can't you play the field? Because you don't know the game?
Sure.
You know the game. Okay. You just don't want to play the game.
Yeah.
Okay? You just don't want to play the game. Why? Because you don't want to be a slut. But again, you don't have to be a slut. You don't have to worry about what other people project on you, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, because you don't actually have to go all the way with the person.
Yeah, well, to be honest, like, no one really, like, interests me. I don't know. Just like...
Bullshit. You have narrowed your focus on one type of person that is ungettable to you.
Yeah.
Playing the field is what's available in the moment and has the signature frequency of the moment of now, and not something forever in the future that never comes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to turn the flame down for a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. And then we're gonna take you out of the oven and we're gonna let this beat rest for a second. Okay? Cover it up. Okay. This last relationship you were in, how long were you in it for?
I mean, we were never in an official relationship, but I've known him for 10 years.
So then you've never actually been in a relationship your whole life?
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
No. Admit to yourself what's wrong with that.
What's wrong? Well, I mean, I would like to have a partner and like maybe kids one day, and like I keep getting older and it's not happening. So, kind of. But.
Stop listening to your inner Fox News. You're out of the oven here, and I'm asking you to go deep inside your own internal self. You hear these whispers in the back of yourself all the time. You're just listening far too often, listening to the Fox News ones. Switch the internal channels.
Okay, so what do you want?
It's not what I want. It's your inner self. Is you got to get a hold of here. Miss, I like to read people. Miss, I like to draw cards. Turn on your damn psychic skills.
So you want to know the reason why I'm not in a relationship?
Have never been in a relationship.
Well, I mean, I guess no one's asked me.
Come on. That's insulting to me. That's insulting, that type of answer.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not really sure where it comes from. It just kind of...
Yes, you do know. You're just afraid to say it out loud. You're a chicken shit. Claim your power by making it say it out loud. And now you're back in the oven.
Well, it's the whole unworthiness and rejection, and it's easier to be alone than to be with someone, and what if it doesn't work out? And
Keep going. There's a deeper answer there.
Well, I guess not wanting to be hurt.
Deeper. Come on. Deeper. Go deeper. Turn on your psychic skill. Look into your broken heart.
I'm not sure.
Try.
Well, I think it's just the unworthiness thing, which I'm working on, having more confidence, and I'm confident in the other areas of my life, just not that one for some reason. And I think I'm getting better. I think I'm better today than I was a year ago or 10 years ago. Yeah, it's the unworthiness thing. I guess that's one of the wounds.
Mm-hmm. Now you're the one turning up the heat on yourself. I haven't turned up the heat. Okay? What are you unworthy of?
Love.
Okay, keep going. What are you unworthy of?
Like a partner.
Keep going. Stop using the instant psychic answers that are just avoidance answers. Go to what hurts. Go to the hurt.
I don't know.
Now you're being emotional. Okay?
Yeah.
You have avoided this for so long. It's an inner child issue inside you.
Yeah.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Where were you when you were around 7, 8 years old?
What do you mean, where was I?
Yeah, where'd you live?
Oh, like Ottawa, Canada.
Okay. What do you remember about your childhood?
It was good. It was just, so my dad was sick my whole life. He passed when I was 18. Mm-hmm. So my mom was really busy, the breadwinner type, and there was a lot of,
Okay. You have absorbed, what did your father pass away from?
Lung cancer.
Okay. You have absorbed your father's death energy through your mother and through your father. And what's now inside you is the old maid of your mother who had a husband that passed on, that was imprinted to you at a young age. And it's a wound you took from your mother and father and have not gotten out of yourself.
Okay.
Okay?
So what do I do about that?
Finish mourning your father and let go of the sponging on your own mother's energies. Oh, you don't even know who you are anymore. That's why you just started to go down Reiki and psychic expressions, because it would be an avenue for you to do some self-exploration. But there's a thing about when you're a psychic, if you have areas like this, they can be used against you by negative entities.
Yeah.
Okay? So you need to go to the core of my father passing. I was a sponge to my mother. I took on a lot of her emotional neediness. And I need to get that out of me, because that's not who I am anymore. I'm 31 now and have never been in a relationship. And you've got to say those harsh words to yourself every day as a motivational factor, not a depressive factor. You've got to flip the frequencies on your childhood. You're not going to stop loving her. You're just going to stop the emotional needy child trying to control their parents in a death process.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, finish mourning your father, because your mother hasn't. It's still inside you. That's why I pushed you and pushed you and pushed you, because you won't go there. You will not go there. That's how strong your avoidance mechanism is. And it's so strong, you're 31 and have never been in a relationship. But in the beginning of our conversation, you said you were in one, but it was really a secret obsession that no one knew about. You're leading you down a path of mental instability if you continue to avoid stuff like this.
Okay.
You are beautiful and can be in a relationship. You can play the field. You are worthy. The inner work is around you taking on your mother's pain and sorrow. You haven't finished mourning your father either. There's a part of him that's still inside you that you have to let go. And you got to grow up, darling.
Okay.
Got to grow up.
Do you have any practical tools or tips that I could use to work on that more?
This is a ritual of letting go in a loving, graceful way. I don't have anything pre-written that's for something like this. Best example is you've got to find that graceful internal admissionary state that I have allowed this to influence my life far too long. And that I've got to go deep internal and go, Mom, I love you. When I was young and Dad was passing, I took on your energies thinking I was doing the right thing, but it fucked me up. Mom, you projected a lot of shitty energy on me too when I was growing up, and now I got to grow up a different way at 31. And I respect you, I love you, but now through my journey of prayers, I must disconnect us from this spiritual journey. A new journey will begin on the other side, but this old journey of submission and subjugation and retrition has ended. I will no longer accept this as a karmic lesson. That's the metaphor of what you have to do. And you got to find 1,000 different ways to say the same thing out of a loving state in a ritual and a ceremony where you raise the frequency to your next level. And then when it comes to your father, you got a lot of pent-up tears, darling. A lot. Okay? You don't think you do. And there's an arrogant part of you going, he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. I do. Okay? I do.
Okay.
It's so pent up, and it's so hidden inside you behind the Fox News propaganda that when you actually do touch it and you actually do realize, I have not done mourning my father because I was too worried about my own mother. And I never got to do anything about my son. I got to finish mourning my own father. And now I'm 31 and no relationship. Okay?
Okay.
The biggest thing you take out of this little conversation here, darling, is you got to start doing this inner work at the next level. Play the field. Stop listening to your own inner Fox News.
Okay.
All right, darling. Thanks for calling in. I got to move on.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And thank you for taking on this wonderful roast. And we're going to give you your free spiritual barbecue sauce now and a side. All right, darling. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, Robert. Let's spin up the wheel of roasters and see who's next.
Alrighty. I smell barbecue in the background. Yes, you are next.
Yes, are you there?
I'm here.
Hi. Where are you calling from?
El Paso, Texas.
El Paso, Texas. How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Doing good. What did you think of this last caller we had?
Pretty interesting. I guess I could see from a viewpoint in different ways. So,
Okay. So what did you want to talk about today?
Well, I'm actually really glad you chose me. I've been trying to get in for a few months now, and I found you from Laura Eisenhower. And so I guess one question I have is, like, I know you do like what do you call them? Like readings or like I was wondering, like, how are you able to tap into that, and
How are you able to breathe?
how do I breathe?
Yeah. That's how I do it. It's reflex. It's instantaneous. I put the same level of breathing.
That's awesome.
Okay. Everyone can do it. I've just practiced the skill of going from talking normality to being on a show to instantly activating the energy to doing private sessions, doing this for year after 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 year. At times, like 900, 1,000 sessions a year, sometimes more. And it gets to a point where the responsive reflex of instantaneously entering it's like breathing for me.
That's incredible.
Sometimes I taste what's wrong with people. Sometimes I have a smell of what's wrong. Other times it's just a feeling in the back of my head. And then there are other times that instantaneous into my knowingness, this person's been abused. They've got boyfriend issues, this. And how do I get them to acknowledge and retain? That's the hardest part about doing sessions. Okay, actually getting them to retain something and not go back into their inner Fox propaganda and ignore what was said. Something that'll last in their thoughts and their minds 4 to 6 months down the road. Do you want to be able to do psychic sessions?
I've thought about that.
Okay, so thinking about it and actually wanting to do it, like, have you reached the point where you want to do it?
Honestly, I really don't know what I want to do. I've gone to college and like, I like learning. It's just I have all these interests and I don't really know what to pinpoint what I want to do. And always.
What did you go to school for?
Directions. I was undeclared originally, and then I decided to do cybersecurity because I saw that was a new major. And at that point in time, I thought making money was how to go about things, and that's what I wanted to do. And then I realized, maybe I should actually focus on something I really want to do instead of looking to make money. And so I looked more into like health, spirituality. I took a lot of like Chinese yoga meditation, like a lot of different classes that filled up my schedule. And so,
So did you finish the cybersecurity?
I didn't. I switched again to kinesiology, but I never did finish school. I did go through my junior year, but I stopped because I was having some financial trouble, and it's just that's another thing too I've been trying to work on.
Did the financial issues really put you in a tailspin?
Yeah, I'd say so.
What kind of job did you get yourself to get out of the tailspin?
At the time, I had like a catering job. I was also doing ballet. I was living in Tampa, Florida at the time, and I was just trying to stay on my feet. And
so, how were you making money at ballet, or was the ballet just something you did for entertainment and practice?
oh no, ballet, like driving cars.
Okay, the driving cars. I'm like, I thought you said ballet, and I'm like dancing. I'm like, whoa. I mean, I have had ballet dancers call here. Okay.
No, but
everyone else in the chat room said sought ballet. Okay, valet. Okay.
Yeah, valet. Excuse me.
All right. So you just basically got a know nothing, no thinky job, and just get in and out of person's cars.
Right, it was an easy job, and I liked it because you got to meet people, and it was cool. You got to drive some nice cars,
but you also got to dirty your energy with everybody's car.
Yeah.
Okay.
And some cars were already dirty, so.
Yeah, well, I'm talking the psychic crap that's inside them too.
True.
Okay. And what have you been doing since then?
Well, also I've been on a path of just self-discovery and trying to go within, and because. Like one of my uncles has actually taught me how to meditate, and I've been trying to incorporate that into my life, and I've had some issues or trying to do that on a daily basis.
With meditation?
Yeah, because I know that's something I need to be doing daily.
Right. So if you know you need to do something and you're having issues with doing a daily practice, you're not ready for a daily practice, and that's the first thing you have to admit to yourself. Okay? And then you got to get in touch with yourself that has no discipline.
Right.
Why don't you have discipline when it comes to self stuff?
Yeah, I do tend to procrastinate. That's one thing I've been looking on how I need to overcome
look is great, but what does actual do mean?
Like taking action?
Yeah. And you're at a situation where you can't take action for yourself for whatever reason. And that's therefore what the inner work should be about, is journaling and chronicling why I can't do the inner work until the actual debate and argument of what's inside you comes out. I don't want it because blah, 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 blah. Body said this, mind said this, heart said this. And so there's a common theme of why you aren't able to do a regular practice.
Do you think there's something like holding me back from
you? You don't believe in yourself. You haven't had a validated experiences that will give you a greater awareness. You don't have somebody to do it with, blah, 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 all the different reasons. But there's a core reason you have to get to of why you can't do a regular daily practice with discipline around yourself. You can go to work. Okay, you can get your job because you want to be led by somebody else. That's your issue right now. You can't lead yourself. You'd rather go to a class and people tell you how to do it, or go to a job and people tell you what to do.
But there's some things I have tried to do on my own, but it seems like I don't stick with it long enough. And
you don't stick with it because you don't have somebody telling you what to do. And you don't deal well with your own mistakes. And you don't have somebody to hold yourself accountable when you don't do stuff.
Why do you think that is?
The way you grew up. Choices you made growing up. When to be lazy, when to be bored, when to be happy, when to be sad, when to do nothing. You were bored often when you were a kid?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have the best childhood. Kind of moved around a lot. And both my parents were deaf, and I really didn't have my dad in my life.
Both of them, you were deaf or dead, you said?
Deaf.
Deaf, because unable to hear.
Correct.
Okay, and you were born into a family that couldn't hear, and you hear.
Right.
You don't think that has something to do with it? You really didn't have. You didn't have the parents you wanted to have.
Right.
And you had to figure out a lot of things on your own.
Mm-hmm.
Deaf people have a very different human experience than hearing people.
I only lived with my mom until I was 10, and then
that's all it takes. That's all it takes.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it takes.
Yeah,
Where'd you go afterwards?
I was running away a lot between ages of like 7 and 9, 10, and
And why were you running away?
Well, because I just couldn't.
Wasn't being heard. You weren't being heard, literally.
Exactly.
Okay.
When I tried to talk to her, like she taught me sign language, and I did do that. And sometimes when I had to try to get my point across, so I'd have to write it down, and things didn't communicate, and then I'd get frustrated, and I'd run away, and it was just like an endless cycle. But I never did it to leave. I just didn't know. I just wanted to calm down and go somewhere, and I would always come back. But then it ended up, I was just.
But it created a habit. It created a habit pattern in you that I get to run away whenever the fuck I want to.
Right.
Which means it's hard for you to hold yourself accountable if you actually want to do something, because you can walk out the door and do whatever the fuck you want.
And then I was put in foster care for 6 months, and then that changed my perspective, because I was raised like in a Christian family, and then they were Jehovah's Witnesses, and that expanded my perspective, because I always knew like religion, like always people born in different places of the world, how do they're born into something, and one sect says they go to heaven, the other one's going to hell. Like, how do you know? And it just like put me on the path of spirituality, knowing that there's more to that. But
it opened you, but there were still closed parts of you that energy, that God interconnection energy, couldn't get into. You're deaf to some of your own inner language. And when your inner rebel talks, nothing else, you can't hear anything else. Does that make sense?
Can you say it in another way?
When your inner rebel talks, you become deaf to all other aspects inside yourself.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And this is why you can't get into the different form of spirituality. It still comes back to be wanting to be led. And that's okay. That's why there are schools and teachers and people out there for it to help you hold yourself accountable. Until you've had enough self-practice to go, okay, I can do this on my own. You have to admit, all right, I got to start with the T-ball version of meditation. Okay? Make it easy on yourself. Go to a class. Do it with friends. Find something for people to do it with. And eventually, you'll motivate your inner self to stop being deaf to some of those interchanging words you have, that you can do it on your own.
Okay.
And what kind of job are you doing now?
Well, right now I'm actually just working at Starbucks, and not really some place where I want to be, but because I moved to El Paso just because I had family here, and they supported me during my time of trying to get back on my feet.
So you're a barista.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice in that aspect of, getting to...
It's a mindless job. It's still a mindless job that allows you to make some friends. You gotta make some friends, okay?
Yeah, I've been here for like 2 years, and I just don't really connect with anyone, if I'm being honest.
Come on, you've got the most social fucking job in the world. You're a Starbucks barista. I bet you women hit on you, and gay people and gay men, all of them hit on you all the time, and you're just too ignorant to see it. I'm so positive, and I'm going to tell you, people hit on you all the time, and you don't even realize it.
Yeah.
You got to be open to this. The next time you go into work, go, Andrew said people hit on me all the time. Why am I ignoring it? And then allow yourself to go, what? Did that 65-year-old woman just hit on me? Okay? Or did that mom, that MILF with 5 kids and who wants her triple calf lactate, whatever it is she just flirting with me? And then flirt back. Innocent flirt back. The Java Man Gigolo. Thanks, Alan.
I mean, sometimes I do that, but it's like I'm kind of like looking.
It's like 2 left feet sometimes, though, isn't it? You got to put on your ballet shoes, okay,
Right.
and dance the dance. Dance the dance. What are you afraid of?
Well, it's like
That you might meet somebody?
Yeah, I mean,
God gonna strike you down?
Really
God gonna strike you down for having those thoughts out of wedlock?
I mean, it's not bad at Starbucks. It's just really unfulfilling, you know.
Sure, it's an unfulfilling job. It's a barista job.
Right.
But you have the unique job of being able to meet people all the time. And you just got to be willing to try. Okay? Okay, it's not like you're working at Hooters. Thanks, Dale. Okay? Just try. Work on your metaphorical game. You may be a shitty batter right now, but when you start learning machine gun game, that's polite, and there will be people that will acknowledge that you made a move without the intention of anything behind it just because you were practicing. And people do respect that. Get experience while on the job. Exactly. You need to build that confidence in yourself. And everything else will change for you.
And do that just by interacting more with people like me?
Well, it's more than just interacting more. I mean, you've been there for how long and haven't made any friends?
Well, I mean, they're like acquaintances, but I don't consider like...
You haven't made any friends in 2 years. Come on. Because you're closed down. You're not letting anyone in. You're being the deaf person again. You don't really realize how much growing up around deaf parents fucked you up.
Yeah.
And then get into the foster care and then the religion. You don't know who you are anymore. Find yourself. You can go online every day and find 1 or 2 quality pickup lines from 1,000 websites and mentally practice them and talk with some of your barista people and go, can I practice this hit line on you? Now, I'm not hitting on you. Can I just practice and you tell me if I'm doing it right or not? Okay? Makes you vulnerable, makes you open, and allows you to have a little practice.
All right, well, that makes sense, but I mean, my focus isn't really on like I do want more friends for sure, but it's like
but you're failing at the spiritual side right now.
Right.
You can't do it on your own. You can't get yourself started. We just talked about this before this.
Mm-hmm.
So you're stuck. What are you going to do? Continuing doing the same thing that you're not motivated to do on your own? Or beginning to invest into the self-confidence building techniques?
Okay.
All right, man. Thanks a lot for calling in.
Thank you.
All right, Robert. Is Monty there?
Hello.
Hello. How are you doing?
I'm all right. I needed a nap because I woke up.
You needed a nap after you woke up?
Oh, no, I need a nap. I haven't had the nap yet. So
your pre-nap.
Yeah. Hang on, I'm not getting married. Oh, prenup. Oh.
Yes, pre-nap, not prenup.
So that'll be interesting. Yeah, we need to have a pre-nap. What are you talking about, dear?
It's the nap before the nap.
Oh, yes, because that's
the experience of sleeping together before you sleep together. You are napping together.
Oh, yes. Well,
sleep is just sleep.
Yeah, I do actually practice safe sex. I'm in my room and my girlfriend's in Brisbane. So it's all. I don't have a girlfriend.
I know.
That's a joke, ladies and gentlemen.
I know. That's his virtual safe sex.
Yes. I haven't. My girlfriend doesn't know I exist and I haven't met her. But, if you're going to split hairs.
Well, it's a dream relationship.
Well, that's why. Well, not that thing, but I think I feel that every time I wake up zonked from sleeping, I must be doing so much work on the other side. It could be just trying to organize a party and I'm putting out all the refreshments, but it's for 5,000 people. Or I'm saving the universe. I'm not sure because I can't remember, but it's, yeah.
Well, you're saving the universe with your party.
Yeah. Where's the coleslaw?
Where's the coleslaw? Exactly. So,
yeah, it's like the full moon, it's a week ago? I can't see. Time's just changed. It's like my timeline now, it's daylight.
Full moon was last Saturday.
Okay. That felt like a really big elephant hit me with a double-decker bus. And I would wake up and like, oh.
I was whacked with it too. I told you about that before too.
As some of the new ages, like we're going into a new epoch, and it just feels like we're coming to an end of a cycle, but it seems to be 17 cycles at the same time.
That's a good way to describe it. All the cycles are ending at once. And within that cycle is a period, and the tampons had to be changed a bunch of times. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, this is a 5-year cycle, and a 17-year cycle, and a 50-year cycle, and a 200 cycle, and an 800 cycle. And it's like, I'm getting spiritual Karen.
Yeah, so the spiritual tampon had to be changed many times.
Yeah.
The multi-dimensional tampon.
Stick this. No, wait. I'm stopping myself from going spiritual Karen because
do it. Don't resist it.
I'm practicing in front of a spiritual mirror. Like, okay, I'm formulating my argument. What the hell is this? This is what you asked for. Well,
I want to speak to your manager.
Yeah. Where is the prime creator? Oh God, it's this guy again. See that that made me giggle. The prime creator saying God.
Yep.
Oh me, he's back.
Exactly. Oh me, he's back. Oh me, oh my.
So yeah, as I said, my timeline, it's daylight, it's night, it's daylight, it's night. So
You're awake, you're asleep. Oh shit, am I talking on the radio when I'm asleep or awake?
Yeah, I usually, because as you do repetition in the 3D, sometimes that bleeds into the dream world. I had in this last week a dream, excuse me, that actually woke me up because in the dream, for whatever reason, I had to pick up my phone, and it wasn't my mobile phone. I picked it up, like, that's not my phone. And then my phone rang in the 3D, like, oh, fascinating.
I was telling you the other day, I had a dream about I was in a car and an Amish girl was driving the car, like one of the Amish people that doesn't drive cars, and we're talking about fried chicken. And she was texting while we were driving and talking about fried chicken too.
Yeah, it does sound like the Amish are going to have an evolutionary leap. Well, since the Tesla free energy device is in, let's get a mobile phone or a cell phone, however you say it.
Yeah, exactly. One of those things.
That's you've got a teleportation device, English, but I'll just drive a car now. As society moves forward, they step up behind us.
So one of the other odd dreams that I had, I told you about this. Everyone knows the TV shows that I was watching bled through into my dreams.
Oh, that's always fun.
So I was watching the end of Sons of Anarchy, and then I picked up this other show. I forgot the name of it now. Anyways, it was like a cops type show, but none of the themes were copy type themes. It was all talking to metaphorical characters. And I remember waking up in the dream, literally going, am I dreaming about my TV shows? And my other dreaming self said, yeah, let's go back to the dream. This is pretty fun.
Yeah, it's fun. What are you doing? Stop ruining it.
Exactly.
I've had that.
I'm like, okay, I'll go back to sleep. And I realized I allowed myself to go back to the dream and enjoy more of it. And the aware me, the part that woke up, was really enjoying it, knowing full well when I wake up, I'm going to forget all of it.
Yeah. That's a side effect of dream. You know, we're in a dream world. Then why doesn't my physical self remember it? You'll have to learn that. Oh, fucking Karen.
Exactly. You have to learn that, bitch.
Karen intensifies. But I've had that, if you remember our chats in the last 2-3 weeks or whatever the illusion of time it is, that I'm waking up in a dream and I move to, like, you know, it's very Inception, where I wake up in a dream and then I realize I'm dreaming. So there's a dream inside a dream type deal.
That's similar to what I was having too.
Yeah. And I that's fascinating because it's not like, you wake up, you become lucid in a dream. No, you can become lucid in a dream that your dream self is dreaming.
So people are asking about sleep paralysis. This like literally, I go, you know, when you wake up and you move your mouth around because my mouth was dry. And then I'm like, I'm dreaming that I'm dreaming. And I'm awake in my dream, and I can still hear and visualize the dream, you know, the TV series that all mashed into one weird-ass dream.
Yeah. It's like, you know, you woke up in a dream and you're dreaming, and then it's like, see, this is the joy of dreaming. And it's like, what?
And then I had another dream where Michael Jackson. I've had this dream before where I go to this like breakfast restaurant, and there's all these famous people there, each sitting at a table, usually by themselves. Sometimes there's a small group of people, and I go and sit at the bar, the counter table, and Michael Jackson was sitting there. Yeah. I'm like, what's up, Michael? How's it going?
Gee, I'm enjoying my afterlife, but Sony sucks.
He didn't actually talk like with his high Michael J. It was like a normal voice, and it was just him enjoying breakfast with a bunch of other people that were there. Because it evolved where we all went to one table. Robert De Niro, Al Pacino was there. You know, people that were live and some people that are dead. And I'm like, what's going on? They all knew who I was.
And that doesn't surprise me with Michael, because apparently that high voice, he put that on, which is sort of his character / ego that he had to present to the general public. He actually had sort of a natural voice.
Yeah, and then the Queen singer. This was another time I'd go. This was probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks ago. What's his Freddie Mercury? Yeah, he was there too.
Ooh, I had a dream. This is weird. I had a dream that I visited Bill Hicks's family. And they're talking, you know, one bit that sticks out. It's like, Bill thinks you're really good or something like that. I didn't see Bill, but I was talking to his mum, and, you know, it felt like so Bill's in, you know, Arcturus or Alpha Centauri or something doing gigs, and I ended up at his family house talking to his family. Like, this is weird and interesting at the same time.
I've had those two. Sam Kinison. When I was much younger, in my 20s, I used to dream about Sam Kinison all the time.
What is going on with when people dream and they have? Because I'm sure this is a multi-part answer. Are we tapping? Is it archetypes? Is it our own expression trying to talk to ourselves, or are we actually talking to the essences of those famous people?
It can be all of those answers and none of those answers simultaneously.
Yeah,
so it may start out where you actually connect to the essence, and the essence purpose was to just get you to connect with your inner self, and the purpose of the essence is to be a muse. And it gets you into that inner creative space where you're going to connect deeper to yourself. And then there are times where you are having that journey with yourself, but you raise your frequency enough that essence appears.
Yeah. Everyone, welcome to Dream Theory. What the fuck is going on? Because I've tried to explain it in my roundtable where it was, what about dreams? And I think I'm up to 7 different scenarios of what's actually happening, where it's either subconscious, just trying to talk to yourself, it's your higher self, it's parallel universe, it's time travel where you're in another universe which is slightly ahead so you can see what's going on, or it's a hologram and blah blah blah, and it's like, yeah, dream theory. I just like the term dream theory because I said it and I'm like, oh, I like that. Dream theory's whack, yo.
Because you want to take that class.
Yeah, Dream Theory 101. Now you're going to forget everything. Oh, come on.
But if you want to remember a little bit of it.
It's like, sir, you've been here 18 times. Oh, I'm not learning it, am I?
Yeah, you repeated the class 18 times. What's wrong?
That is so human.
Exactly. That is so human of you.
Oh, I've got some good news as well. 3 o'clock this morning, I reached 500 subs on my YouTube channel. Yeah, and doing this kind of stuff because people, so what's your YouTube channel about? Well,
it's mostly about comedy.
yeah. It's like there's a group of people that take the piss out of Star Wars, which I'll probably do some work with. And I actually wrote for the first time explaining our comedy show where, we do spiritual comedy. And I'm sure there was a pause. What the hell's spiritual comedy? Well, it's not like a Zen monk where we hit you over the head with a stick all the time. We do that metaphorically.
Yes, with the metaphors are blunt instruments of instruction.
Yes, 2 guys walk into a Zen Buddhist bar. You think the first one would have seen it?
No, they wouldn't have. Because Zen monks don't drink. They don't have bars.
Oh, well, they've got sticks and they hit people with it. So.
On a regular basis. Their sticks are actually metaphors, though. Blunt tools of instruction.
Yeah, if you bring Dream Theory, well, bring in Zen Buddhists, and it's just like, wow.
So I see people in the chat room that were saying that they were dreaming with me. I want people to write in the chat, what were your different dreams with me? Because I get people who tell me that I dream with me all the time. What was I doing with you?
Yeah, I shared one with you where we were driving. I was giving you a lift somewhere. You got out of the car and said, you don't know how to contact me. And as you walked off, a dust storm came through. And I think your base, or there was another time where you said, my dream self's just being a prick. It's like, that doesn't surprise me at all. Historian. So, I do find it fascinating where not followers, but people that work with your energy and your teachings, they meet the dream Andrew because there's because we're multidimensional. There's that, and I think please tell me what you're dreaming about because I have no idea.
Exactly, because I don't know.
Bloody dream theory. You're going to have wonderful. You're going to go to heaven times 1,000, but you won't remember it.
You won't remember it.
Yeah. Now, is that just a natural expression of a soul in creation, or is that connected to the energy farm / game we're in here on Earth?
Say that again. You broke up.
Oh, okay. Is that forgetting the dream? Is that a natural humanistic expression of existing in creation, or is it because we're on Earth and there's that global narrative, domination and control stuff?
It's all of that.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And it can be all of it. It can be none of it. Again, it's dream theory. What are you going to remember out of that?
Okay, yeah. Well, I suppose it's I'm sure there's elements of free will. So if we're on another planet in another system, the dreams could probably be remembered because of the template of the hologram they're in. Yes,
the template of the different holograms or the many holograms that they're in.
Yeah. And yeah, so like remember I can't remember. Was it this week where we pointed out, in a basic way, the lizards that run who think they own the farm here, they're not going to get rid of the herd because where would they go? It's like, Mars is looking good again.
Yeah, it really great place. I got a swamp to sell you on Mars.
Yeah, they have Grayskull. Like, if you believe that, we've got a bridge on Mars to sell you.
Yeah, we got a really big bridge on Mars to sell you. It's a great toll bridge. It gets lots of people on it every day.
See, the trick is we rent it to you, and you can, because that's where people start thinking, like, this is the end point, and once the battle here on Earth is over, evil has been removed from creation completely because it's the last bastion of all the blah. But I did bring this up on my radio, on my roundtable, where a lot of people of the assumption kicks in, where it's like, well, Joe Biden's wearing a moon boot. Clearly, he's been arrested. And like, well, that's a large chasm you've just jumped there. We know he's wearing a boot. That's correct.
Yesterday you told me that, and today there's like 1,000 Facebook posts that boot's covering an ankle bracelet. He was arrested.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's so funny how you said it. How long before it's going to be that people are going to make the associate he was arrested?
Yeah,
he's not arrested.
It's part of my journey, because I am from conspiracy world, and even I like, he broke his foot, he's going to wear a moon boot. My mind went, people are going to say he was arrested and wearing an ankle thing. Now, with the information overload, there's no evidence of that, and it's sort of was part of my journey. Just like, we really do need hardcore evidence, because it's like, I know a guy, and he said, and it's like, that massive jump, and like, there is a Joe Biden, he's wearing a boot, and you get in a rocket and just fly way over to he was arrested, and like, why? We're getting to the point, like, people are upset there are no arrests and there's no form of justice. So it's like,
they should have been in the conspiracy world in 2014 when those arrests didn't come. You know how many of the guys that are still talking today the same shit said the arrests were coming in 2014. All year they told us it was coming.
Yeah, and that's actually been a lesson for me of like, don't give me dates, because anything can change. And how many times? There'll be arrests. There'll be med beds. We're entering 5D. It's like,
you're all going to get $1 million, and the debt's going to be erased.
Yeah, Nasara and Jasara was like, well, I've only seen people saying this stuff. Or I do, no offense to the sovereign community, but you can't free yourself by giving paperwork to the system that controls you.
Well, they beg to differ there.
I know they do.
Okay, I was in that sovereign community for a while. All right.
Yeah, I like the idea.
Right, it's a great self-teaching, self-motivation, spiritual claimant energy. But as soon as you give a paperwork to a living being, they're like, "You're a fucking crazy person. I don't believe in it. You may. It's your paperwork. Stop mailing the shit to me. My boss said not to accept it."
Yeah, exactly. It's like, people are going to do this, or, you don't need, you got a birth certificate and you don't need to show ID. Yeah, but the man with the gun may disagree with you. And it's, unless everyone does it at the same time, good luck trying to get anyone to do something at the same time. I remember someone was talking, my son's doing a comic book about spiritual superheroes. And I've gone, do the sovereign community, where it'll be a whole issue about filling out paperwork. This is my power.
Signature is my power.
Yes, I've handed in a form.
I have taken over my straw man.
Yeah, I think China's a good example of like, I'm standing up against corruption. That's a tank heading towards you. Move.
Right, move. Tiananmen Square. Remember?
They
drove over you. They didn't fake that.
Yeah.
Okay, that was not a deep fake. They drove over you on live TV and didn't care.
Did you see that Sassy Justice, that thing that I sent you, the deep fake?
Yes.
That's scary. It's funny, but it's also scary. Like, this is the level of technology that the public has. And it was good to see Al Gore saying, "I'm super serial."
And Santo is saying Heather Tucci did all the sovereign paperwork and is sitting in jail. There's a bunch of other those law guys that are sitting in jail, or there are many followers who are sitting in jail, and yet they're still on air spouting their same bullshit.
Yeah, and she probably Heather probably did the right thing. However, the other side, the enemy, probably ignored it.
Heather never did the right thing.
Okay, well, I was just using her as an example. It's like, a peacenik going up to World War One and going to the Germans. You're all free, and you'll just be shot at. Yeah, there's people with guns. It's like I find it interesting that here in Australia, there's people that love the royals and the Queen. You do realise they're a family from lineage of a warlord who had a big sword and killed everyone else that wanted the monarchy. They don't like hearing that, of course, but it's just a family that killed everyone else that wanted this stuff.
Right. And then that family's still in charge all these years later. Why is the Queen a huge part of Canada and Australia?
Yeah. Oh, she's a figurehead. Then, why can't we become a republic here in Australia? Why do we need a mostly German English person to be our sovereign? Oh, because it's tradition. Yeah, we used to have slaves. Anyway,
traditions change over the generations, don't they?
Yeah, she has no purpose. I've been watching The Crown. I love The Crown, and I'm fascinated with all the characters. Couldn't give a rat's ass about the real royal family.
Exactly, a rat's a real mother. But they have this mystical representation in cultures.
Yes.
That's the magic that has been done on their name.
Yes, because they portray it like you kind of feel sorry for them. There's not many lizards eating babies in the show. But you can see why they're kind of the way they are, because they're a family and they're rich, but they're constantly in turmoil, and it's all about duty, and you feel like you feel sorry for the characters in a way, because there's total control of it's tradition, and the monarchy will destroy the country, and it's like that's kind of true. The monarchy is destroying the country. So I want to thank Nadia Lorenz for making this quote. Traditions are peer pressure from dead people. Great statement. Peer pressure from dead people. Yes, it's like, so, I mean, England, it's up to you if you want to become a republic, but like the rest of the Commonwealth, notice the name changes in the 20th century. We called Windsor now because Saxe Coburg Gotha sounds a bit German during World War One, so we're the Windsors now. And then after World War Two, empires look bad. Oh, we're a Commonwealth. It's still an empire.
It's just given a different name. Because they changed branding.
Marketing came in. Look, this Empire thing's not
this
really
is just not working. We look at Star Wars. The Empire just was a bad brand. We got battleships everywhere. Come on.
Yeah, you rule the waves, and
and then your underlings that you put in charge of all these countries just didn't do a good job managing.
Yeah, it's that David Icke quote. The planet is ruled by psychopaths and run by idiots.
Exactly, ruled by idiots, or run by idiots. Therefore, the NWO still has to deal with the bureaucracy wheels that are triangle-shaped wheels.
Yeah, something funny that's popped up. Apparently, Obama, Clinton, and Bush have said, we'll take the vaccine live on air to help people get their own things. And everyone's like, I don't trust you now. Why would I trust you when you do this?
I heard that same thing, and it's because Moderna and Pfizer have said that this vaccine has a 90% success rate. No vaccine in history has ever had a 90% success rate on its first term. Right. Okay. And how do we know that what you're getting stuck with is the actual vaccine and not the placebo?
Yeah, I think it was the mayor of London was getting a vaccine, but if you zoomed in on the photo, the cap was still on the syringe.
Right, this cap was still on this fucking syringe. Okay, I wouldn't take the first generation of vaccine. Am I an anti-vaxxer? Technically, no, but I am at the same time understanding that young children shouldn't have 22 vaccinations by the time they're 1 year old.
Well, we're roughly the same age. We're the same year, class of 74. Woo! My 4-year-old niece has more vaccines in her than we we have.
Right.
Because it's safe. Like, yeah, it just, there was a story apparently here in Australia. Sepsis, I think that's what it is. The guy he had COVID apparently and sepsis. And so they had this radical treatment of giving him a mega dose of vitamin C, and he was basically cured in 3 weeks. And the scientists are freaking out.
Well, there are many natural ways to cure all of the sicknesses and diseases that have been engineered onto our society over the last 70 years.
Yeah.
So many of these things that we have, from cholesterol to blood pressure, have been engineered so that pharmacology can treat them as a symptom but not get to the root of the cause.
Yeah.
And all the big pharmacy companies know that. And this Moderna vaccine is just another iteration of that. And
because every human's roughly different, you can't have a one vaccine saves all, because we're all unique. And so one person has a mega dose of vitamin C, it saves them. But if you give it to the right person in this example, it'll probably kill them because of their makeup and their physiology and just their experience. And so when you say, "Oh, we've got a vaccine, it's 90% successful," there's so many people who aren't, they are pro-vaxxers, and it's like, no.
Yeah, there's a lot of pro-vaxxers, because we all heard that they got complete indemnity from lawsuits to get this vaccine out before the end of the year.
Yeah,
Normally it takes 10 years to develop a vaccine.
Yeah.
They did it in 9 months.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
People back then who were pro-vaccine said, "I would never take it because I cannot trust the FDA and them for not doing the thing." We're going to go, how are you going to have your proper rules and instructions on making quality control for 40 million doses? And you need to make billions of doses. And the virus we already know the virus is mutating dozens of different ways. So this vaccine you get may not only get you for that one type of virus.
Yeah, you're playing catch up, and who knows what the vaccine may have an adverse reaction in certain people. What else? There are certain parts of Christianity that are refusing it because they've used cells from aborted fetuses. Mm. And I'm like, oh, I like that idea. It's like, you're injecting me with an unborn baby? Maybe not. That doesn't sound, there's a DNA thing going on here.
The irony is, this last week, the mainstream news are now starting to say about the numbers in China in February and March, where they were showing an example. On Tuesday, they reported 2,000, but in actuality, there were 10,000. On Thursday, they reported 4,000, but there were actually 16,000. And on Friday, they reported 95 dead, but it was 275. They're now starting to break that wall, which we knew back then. Okay? And we're starting to realize that there were many ways of stopping the sickness with just the existing drugs on the market. And doctors being doctors.
Now, are you saying the Chinese Communist Party lied?
Yes.
That's so out of character.
Okay. But now we're at a point where they're going to more than likely force vaccinations, even though right now they don't want to make it look like they're going to force vaccinations. Mm-hmm. But to go to any public school now, you have to be vaccinated.
Yes.
So vaccination is already a truth in our world.
Yeah, they do it with the kids to make it safe. They want to do it with live music venues, like if you buy a ticket. And Qantas came out and said you'll have to have a vaccination to fly in Qantas. And geez, did they have a roasting where everyone's like, "Well, we're not dealing with you anymore." And it's from the New World Order perspective, they have to step out from the curtain. There's got to be a certain point if they're going to have this whole total control. They actually have to show their true colors. And there's too many people going, well, no, because the lie that they've been putting forward is not what they want to do. Being an American, you understand this. The whole freedom thing. Where, we're a free country. You're free to be locked down, wearing masks, and you'll have a vaccination forced on you because we know what's right.
Exactly. And then the next journey here is for them to show themselves, a new season of propaganda has to start.
Yeah.
And last time they showed themselves at the end of season 2. And for people that are like, what are they talking about? On our 2 Fridays ago, we did a show where I made a reference of right now season 2 has just ended, and they're skipping season 3 and starting right with season 4. Well, season 3 was so bad, it was horrible. They pretended like it never existed because they showed themselves in the wrong way. And now they're trying to get you back onto the characters of the narrative and not the things manipulating the narrative.
Yeah.
And that's what the positive thing Trump did. He kept an ever-present watchful eye of blame on the deep state. The deep state is absolutely real. Before Trump came in, I talked about the deep state frequently. So did you. Trump just made it commonplace to talk about it.
Yes, he's a catalyst in doing by fake news, and even if there's people there's no deep state or no fake news, but the thought's there in their head. And so in the long term, the people that have chosen their experience from that, when it's revealed that it's true, it's already softened the blow because it won't be a massive shock.
Mm-hmm. You know, if I were one of those people in the press briefing rooms or on a regular basis asked, one of the questions I would ask to the director of the government, how many of the pharmacy companies have complete lawsuit indemnity for creating of these vaccines?
Yeah. And that's a simple human question of, is it safe? Saying it is not enough. Because it's you know,
right. If you're giving them indemnity before it was even created, I'm not going to trust that. My right to sue has been taken away by you.
Yeah, and the way they patrol the coronavirus, it's a deadly pandemic. And it's like, well, it's roughly the same as the flu, which is still bad. I mean, the flu virus vaccine's been around for 70 years. How's that going?
Yeah, but it has less than a 10% success rate. Every year that you get flu, pneumonia, all of them have less than a 10% success rate.
Yes, because it mutates in humanity. And like, I'm still waiting for news, like mainstream news, to point out of get sunlight, eat healthy, and exercise. Like, you know, I saw an article on the BBC saying, you know, having a go at the immune system. That's a conspiracy theory. I'm sorry, what? Strange how they teach that in medical school.
Right. And then there's all these doctors who have been suppressed off of YouTube and Facebook. And it's going to end up somewhere in season 4. There's going to be one episode like when the 1,500 engineers around the world said 9/11 was an inside job, that 9/11 came down from explosives. Okay, there's gonna be a recompense where many hundreds or thousands of doctors start saying that. The thing is, doctors are beholden to insurance companies, and the only doctors that are talking out are the ones that are not beholden to the insurance companies. Yeah. It's a matter of time. Anybody that's made a name for themselves in the last 8 months, your time is ticking.
Yeah, and I think he knew about it, and he's still got his way of doing it because he's on Twitch, and I think I can't remember where else, but there's safeguards type thing. Even like with Stephen Crowder, he has Mug Club, which is where you give him money for a year on Blaze TV, and you watch it, and so they've got their own platform. He still pops up on YouTube, which I think pisses them off. But in the last month, well, since the election, he's been hitting 3-4 million views in like 48 hours.
Yeah, people are moving to Parler and BitChute. Right now, BitChute is might lose their hosting service because Google's going to kick them out. And a lot of these other things, if they don't start internally banning and doing the stuff that they want the other ones to do, you're going to see the same thing repeat on those other ones.
Yeah, and the main control system is panicking because we're not looking at the legacy media because we know they're full of shit and they're constantly caught out. And so you go to the alternative media, and that's been fascinating where it's just fractalized. And listen to one of my roundtables, you'll understand where like, we all want to save humanity, but we're arguing about the color of the flag we should fly under or something. Like, it should be a burgundy, but I like turquoise. Like, there's tanks heading towards us. Can we just fight them instead of arguing about the flag?
Remember, don't stand in front of that tank.
That's a
it will run tank. You over. Exactly. It will run you over.
You're in the blind spot of the driver. So, like,
yeah, exactly. You're in the blind spot of the driver because he doesn't see you. He sees you as something to be run over.
It could be that big mother-loving cannon that keeps firing that obscures his view.
Exactly. So we've talked about dreams, politics, crazy things coming on. Every single election, it's kick the can down the road. So as they go to kick the can down the road, that is when they're going to give you the biggest bait and switch. And suddenly season 4 is here. All new characters. Trump is gone like he never existed. Joe Biden and Camel Toe Harris.
Well, that's in a way that's sort of what Obama did, because he was a senator for a year or two. Yeah. But from the national perspective, he just came in from, when you have a car accident, they just came out of nowhere and hit me. It's like, you're a psychic. You should know these things. But with Obama, just came straight in. It's like, who's this handsome chap? He seems to be talking jive or not talking jive. And so it'd be fascinating to watch. And sort of with my roundtables, I keep sharing the idea of, stay in yourself, find that Zen no point, whatever it is. Don't engage and observe, because, up until the election, it was insane. And it's been like the titles on my shows on my YouTube, Election Day 28, will this ever end? Like, I keep just doing the same thing. It's very draining, and it's a false energy roller coaster, the whole theater of all of it. If you think of it as the owners of the energy farm, they're doing good work. They're sucking the crap out of everything.
Just because the farmer management is changing doesn't mean they're not sucking the crap out of everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's still chaos in a certain aspect, and there's still energy harvesting, depending on what it is. And I can see the whole event, if in a broader scope, if you step back about 18 steps, it's still all about energy harvesting, and you realize, well, that's all a waste of time. It's like, because
the farmer management is changing doesn't mean all the farmers' assistants the farm's still running.
Yeah. And the owners who are hiring the new office workers,
right? They've got help wanted ads. Deep Hollow Earth.
Now, as above, so below. Is the Hollow Earth still in chaos, or I don't think it's they're got knives at each other's throats. I can see them wearing ties and white shirts and sitting at a board meeting like, Jerry, I don't like you. I just don't like you, Jerry. We should work this out.
So the best metaphor I can come up with what's going down there is there is a good possibility that the board members and the shareholders are going to give a vote of no confidence to the CEO, CFO, and COO. Okay?
What faction are they at the moment?
The CEO would be the Lizard. The CFO, Chief Financial Officer, would be a medium darky Syrian, and the COO, Chief of Operations, would be a Rothschild-led Hollow Earth Nazi.
Oh. See, we should write comedy, because that's just a perfect. So a lizard and a Syrian and a Nazi walk into a bar. You're all fired.
Exactly. So vote of no confidence means they have to immediate vacate all plans that they're doing, and multiple new CEOs take over all the positions. There will be no one single management.
So a full clean house, and I can see why the narrative's up in the air.
Yep.
Because it's where we don't know where this story is landing.
Well, there's still a lot of things going on in the boardroom. Are they going to actually call for the vote of confidence? As I said, there's grumblings that they're going to take a vote of confidence, but there are some chicken shit board members who are like, I don't want to piss that lizard off.
Yeah, remember when he got upset about with Dave a couple of weeks ago in the car park? They're still cleaning him off the...
Just because we vote him out of office, we still got to live down here with him.
Yeah. See that guy? Yeah, he used to be... Oh, he's coming this way quick.
Exactly. Okay? You still got to live with him. It's not white picket fences down in Hollow Earth. Your fences have guns on them.
Yeah, it's and at the end of the day, this is what helps me. So if anyone else resonates with it, is it's an energy farm, and the shareholders and the owners, it's just think as a business, because that's one thing you sort of mentioned, which from my perspective is like, really? Because this idea of business is all through reality. I'm like, oh, for the love of God. And so, like, to me, the New World Order, I mean, they may put it in and it'll collapse under 8 months. It won't go for 1,000 years, because which idiot will actually want to kill 7 billion of the herd and try and survive? You're not BMW, you know what I mean?
One that doesn't want it to be a farm anymore. Wants to change it to something that is not a farm. Yeah,
like high-end
resort.
Yeah, a resort thing was like, oh, this is, have you tried human? Oh, that's very expensive. Mm-hmm. And it's, I don't really, anyone's like, no, we're not going prestige. What are you doing? We've been here for 5,000 or 6,000 years, and we've got good accounts and customers, and we're not going to, you can buy a Ford, with nothing wrong with that. We're not going to shift it to a Mercedes-Benz where we make less and the price goes up. It's like, because the Ford sells well.
So if they get rid of the New World Order, who is just another opposing business idea, that's all that it really is. Okay?
I've got an idea. No, you don't.
Exactly. Okay? So they're going to do a corporate takeover of Hollow Earth. Okay? The thing is, it's not working. It's not working.
Oh, will you be quiet? Yeah, it sounds like it's very like a Monty Python sketch. If you remember The Meaning of Life, there was supposed to open with a sketch, which is like 4 minutes long, but Terry Gilliam was directing it, and it turned out to be a 15-minute short film, and it's a metaphor for financial services and everything else like that. And it reminds me of that, where world domination. It's like, yeah, have you got the accounts? I need that report on Sunday. And like, it's taking the mystique out of, like, warlords and everything else like that, where they're all business suits and all that type of stuff.
Well, they wanted to take the warlord out of the armor and put him in a business suit.
Yeah. It's basically just we're evolving here, people.
Right.
War's been going on for 5,000 years. Let's try something else. Let's acquisition, acquire, and merge, and everything else like that. So, see, now, bear with me here, people. This is the fun part of what's going on, is to watch how these idiots and psychopaths try and pick up the narrative, where it got to the end of the storyline of season 2, and Trump came like, oh, we're going to the courts, and everyone's like, oh, this show sucks. Mm-hmm. And then going to season 4, I think we've even mentioned maybe season 5.
Yes, we've that they might even skip all of season 3 and 4 and try to start with 5.
Yeah, because the writers really do suck, and so it'll be a new world, but it won't be a New World Order. And see what, because I can see in a way the New World Order being sacrificed. It's like, look, we'll end that, and that could give us 50 to 80 years of humanity going, oh, look, we're awesome, but still you have the deep state and people in control, and we'll give them a blanket, and then next year we'll give them a blanket with a bit of smallpox on it, just a hint.
Yes.
You know what I mean? They could sort of give the illusion of freedom and, the empire's over, and then slowly build up again from a different angle. And then a generation or two, it's like, oh, how did they live in 2020? Like all this, this wacky idea of freedom and speaking freely. I mean, the insanity.
The insanity of talking free and getting censored.
Yeah, like we just get censored. You know, they should have done the right thing and not have hate speech and censored themselves. Would it be better for the planet from the board in the Hollow Earth? They want stability, even like if you don't want China and America to have a war and wipe out half the herd or the flock.
Yeah, but they could have an economic war, which is just as bad.
Oh, they're doing that now. Yeah, they're doing that and that's the thing. Like, it'll be fascinating to see which way they actually go. And of course, if we put 17 ideas forward and they do, and we see the 18 one, it's still fascinating. Like, oh, you're going that way. Mainly because we've shared the 17 ideas and you put it through a program and like, oh, they won't work. Because if your goal is to kick the can down the road, you want it to where, that's the thing about the election, 30 days after it, and there's that tension and slight anxiety. And I think that's what election night was. That's why they skipped season 3, because they saw how most things in life is building of tension and release. All that energy dissipated. There were provocateurs walking around in the United States at 3 a.m. going, I didn't get my orders. What am I supposed to do?
Mm-hmm. Where's my paycheck?
There's all these bricks everywhere, like Mario Kart. But do I pick them up or what? Why? Why? Right. And I think that's probably why you got the vote of no confidence, because the letdown. There wasn't really much of an energy release, was there? The letdown was like we just let go of the energy and it couldn't be harvested.
Oh, it was harvested. It was absolutely harvested.
Ooh,
okay, it just wasn't super high frequency. It's still milk, usable milk.
Okay.
Okay, they could skim it. They could make it 4%. Okay.
Yeah, but it was a low yield. That's sort of
no. It was a very high yield. Very high yield.
All right.
Okay. So, remember, they transmute it into what they want.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, because basically, anything they're so good at it. Any energy they can take and just they like the loosh, of course, because it's what they feed on. But they can take any energy they want, and as long as something happens, but you remove the flock, there's no energy. So there's just the planet going, well, you people piss off.
That's why the whole dying off of the population is like, what the fuck are they going to feed on?
Yeah. Dave, have you thought this through? We'll go prestige. No.
Exactly. What are they going to feed on?
Yeah, because, well, who do they sell the energy to in that basic metaphor?
All these other worlds that are looshers too.
All right, yeah. So it's the whole thing about there's only evil on Earth. No, there's a system out there, and there's energy practice.
Right, that's why we're the Walmart.
The trade routes of energy.
We're the Walmart to the galaxy.
Yeah.
Or Costco to the galaxy, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, and our conversation yesterday, and the Earth agreed to that. Just remember that, chaps.
You absolutely agreed to it.
Yeah. Yeah, the whore. No.
All right, Monty, we're at the end of the show. Why don't you give away to people to get a hold of you?
I am on YouTube at Wafer Thin Entertainment, and I've just slowly screamed past 500 subs. So thank you, everyone. And I think other people have joined. I'm being told 2 more. So as we're going forward, on Facebook, it's monty.dean.5. I'm the 5th generation of Monty, apparently. On Twitter, it's at Real Monty Dean, and on Instagram, monty.dean. And I usually just do the comedy stuff just to break up energy. And I'm on Parler, but which is at Wafer Thin.
And Robert, take us away.
Each different bubble of reality is true.
A galactic historian is a person that looks at all the lines of dramatic karma.
Nudge, nudge. It's the holy grail.
Improvise. Mysterious.
It's counter psychic intelligence.
Why is DNA farming of this star cluster so important?
Because we do manifest our reality. We do create our reality. create, let's co-create, and let's change this world with love. No matter if you're from Alpha Centauri or Earth, we all began with the same birthing process. We live in a limited point of view. Living the mystical life daily is about striving for the unlimited point of view. Each day, each human being gets an infinite amount of choices. Living the mystical life daily is about facing obstacles and challenges. The level of awareness that you are working at means you have a responsibility to be equal with it. How does one truly let go of expectation? You can make the moment that you wake up to the moment you go to sleep sacred. The keys to success: choice, 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 and choice.